All right, a few changes here. We'll talk about them and we'll begin our league. Red Prison. The list went 5-0 last time we brought it out. I had a few critiques, and I'd like to apply those critiques here and see if we can't get another possibly good outcome. So the main changes here is the last list had 20 lands. I'm going to bump this to 21. I feel like 21 gives me a little more stability on making sure I do hit those land drops at least up to 3 mana, where Anger the Gods and Seasoned Pyromancer are sitting at. In order to fit one more land in the main board, I've opted to cut a Magus, so this actually brings us to a 7-moon list instead of an 8-moon list. We'll see how frequently that becomes a problem if we run into a lot of decks that we would prefer to have a moon in play. We've cut one Eidolon in the sideboard and actually brought in a Torpor as well. This does non-bow a little bit with Seasoned Pyromancer. However, the Torpor I think is just a great card against some of the decks that can get outside of our lock of bridges and chalices with things like Skyclaves, Reclamation Sages, and other ETB creatures. So, a Singleton Torpor has made its way back into the sideboard. The list in general, though, is the same. Otherwise, 9 ritual effects. We have, instead of 8, 7 Blood Moons, 3 Bridges, 4 Chalices, a set of Karns here of 3, a set of Chandras at 4, 3 Anger, 3 Season, 3 Bone Crusher. It's becoming a little bit of the 3-3-3-3 package. 3 is everywhere. Is 3 a good and lucky number? Let's find out. Let's find out. Modern League. League, please. Play points, go. Whoa, this is messed up. Magic Online did update, so sometimes it needs a little attention. Let's play Magic. How's everyone's Friday going? Hopefully you're all staying warm. It got cold here really fast. Got really cold really fast. I don't like it. It's too cold. Whew. Let's go. What do we think? What do we think the results of this league will be? Good, bad, ugly, great? You got warm there. Got warm? Where are you? You in the southern hemisphere? All right. Coco Moco Man. We do have a turn 1 Blood Moon or Magus or Chalice. I added a mountain, a land, so, you know, turn 1 seems good. We'll keep. Not red. Breeding Pool. All right. Noble Hierarch. Love a land. I think I just got to go Blood Moon anyway here and hope it's going to stop them. And I feel like Blood Moon's safer than Magus, seeing the Noble Hierarch and Afraid of a Path. Good luck, opponents. We now have red mana. Georgia? Augusta? What? I guess our weather flip-flops a bit too. It's gotten cold recently, though. Looks like that Bad Moon video is getting lots of views. How's it going? Bad Moon. Bad Moon is doing pretty well. Foreman Red. Who knows? Maybe we'll revisit it. Stoneforge Mystic here. That's pretty good. Gonna be wanting to get this bridge in soon. Chalice on 1 is ideal right now. More ideal than that would be a land. Bad Moon, it was sweet. I could see us replaying Bad Moon soonish. Soon. All right, we missed our land drop. This is what we get for trying to be cheeky about it. Bad Moon is only 45 tickets. Nice. Nice. Not to mention that it's our first run out at it, so I would only expect me to tighten up the lines after some more practice. So certainly something we could get going there. Will my opponent attack, or are they just planning to get Batterskull in next turn? All right, we do find our land. Thank goodness. We'll go ahead and put this down on 1 to prevent future Noble Hierarchs. We do need another land. Another land would be nice, and we get to be able to put down the bridge and be under the Batterskull. You know, supporting the Batterskull here. All right, Stoneforge puts a Batterskull into play. No surprises here. Cool. No surprises. Next up will be bridge if I can hit that land. Good chance of it too. New Stoneforge. So we're gonna get hit for 5 here. Looks worrisome, but it really isn't. I promise it's not. Sword of Fire and Ice. It's a pretty good one. Hits for 5. Down to 15. Hits for 5 lifelink. That works too. Cool. Land, please. One more runner land. Nice. All right. So this will be a bridge, pass turn. Nice. All right, so the germ can't attack. Anything they attach to the Batterskull can't attack either. This would be 1, 2, 3. So this is still a threat this turn if they have a secondary land. Play it off of Noble plus land, put a new land in, and equip. So little dangerous here. We'll get close to finishing this off though. A Chandra might be used as a down tick just on Noble Hierarch if I get a 4th land here, because at that point I probably can lock them all the way out of the game. Seasoned Pyromancer would let things grow, but not much bigger than Sword of Fire and Ice would boost. You've altered the sideboard for Bad Moon. Sword in play. Attack for 2. Exalted. Give me one more land. Come on. Definitely could get a Seasoned Pyromancer down as well if we miss. So we do miss, so we'll just Seasoned Pyromancer looking for our land. If I can find a land, it would be excellent here. Get rid of 2 Maguses. Find our land. Go ahead. We are but probably a turn away from locking our opponent out. Feels good for that turn 1. We're on turn 5. Aether Vial could fit in there. You think an Aether Vial could fit in your list? I could possibly see that. You want it on 1 or 2, really. It could benefit you in the early game for sure. All right, what are we doing? Attaches Sword of Fire and Ice over to Noble Hierarch. This actually is a smart move by them. 1, I can't block. 2, it exalts itself. And 3, Chandra can't get rid of this, so they will have forever this white, blue, or green mana. It's a smart play. Decides to hit me as well. After this, though, we should be pretty good. Land Chandra. We'll have 1 card in hand. If it's a 3-drop, I'll be able to land it. It's a Chalice. Alright, we're gonna just jam Chandra here. I don't think I need to put the Chalice on like 2. I'd almost prefer it on 3, possibly. It's tough to say. Let's go up for damage. Might not even need this Chalice, really. I could put it to prevent an Engineered Explosives, if they have that. Would that be better than maybe preventing like a Skyclave? Let's put it on 0. We'll empty the hand out completely. You like a Chalice on 3? Something's telling me a Chalice on 0 is fine as well. Avoid a random Engineered Explosives. And I'm not so worried about their stuff on 3. If I find Karn, I also can go get a Torp Orb to finish the lock, probably. Scariest thing here would be potentially Teferi. Could bounce Bridge, but I'm going to give them basically 2 turns here. And they have to find the basic, not a Noble Hierarch. 1 mana. Attempting to pass something won't work. Undo. Floats that 1 mana again. Noble Hierarch flexing its mana abilities here. And they skip their turn, it looks like. I presume they're skipping their turn. I don't believe I have a main board way to get rid of this Sword of Fire and Ice. We're not playing a Braid, we're playing Bone Crusher Giant. Alright, they go to the end step here. We find a bonus Blood Moon. I'll go ahead and go up. Karn will trump me playing this, but otherwise we'll play the Blood Moon. Gives me an extra thing here and pass. Chandra is at 6. Uses white mana once again here. And attempts to pass something. They actually targeted their Stoneforge Mystic. It's countered. Good Chalice check. That would be the other place to put the Chalice, is on 1 again. Just have 2 of them. They got an oops. It's all good. You gotta check the Chalice. It's getting close to a lock, I think. If I can get this up to 7 and 8, possibly an Emblem, will be in great shape. Well, I could put this on 3 now. Stops future bridges. But I think Teferi and Skyclave are some of their ways out of this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just slap this down on 3 and hope we don't need to put down a secondary bridge. There we go. Looking pretty good so far. Looking pretty good. So we've determined that they're banned. Stoneforge package. We haven't seen too much else here. They're pitching Uros here just to make sure that we don't know anything else. I think it's a lock. I think it's a complete hard lock here. And my opponent concedes, so I would assume yes. Got an Anger, Simian Spirit, Rituals, and stuff coming. Nice. Good start. Good start. So, glad I didn't get rid of the Boils. This is actually the Boil matchup. Pretty much everything else is going to stay in here, I believe. We could bring in Anger as well. Chalice on 1 is reasonable in this matchup. Obviously, Blood Moons are good. Bone Crusher Giants are pretty decent, and so are Angers. So it's going to be kind of hard to cut something. Going to be hard to cut something. I really would like to bring the Boils in. The Angers might be just overkill, so we just have 2 Boils we want to bring in. It might be in place of 1 Chandra plus something else. Maybe like, yeah, maybe like 1 Chalice, 1 Chandra possibly. Because we're bringing in a 4-drop, and we have to be a little bit mindful that we only have 21 lands. Plenty of Blood Moons and Maguses, and obviously the Chalice on 1 would protect the Magus in case my opponent does fetch a basic. I like this. So I'll make that swap. I kind of like this. We can get a quick Chalice on 1 here. Bone Crusher, Bridge. You don't lock them out of any mana here, but sometimes you don't get everything. We'll chance drawing another land as well. Don't skip your first turn. What are you doing, opponent? There you go. Good job. Good job. Whew. Whew. Dodged. Dodged. All right. Let's go ahead and just smack this away. And then we'll look to get a Chalice on 1 to follow this up. Bone Crusher Giant was pretty solid there, and I like to do that on basically stealing the turn 1 play away from them. I'm thinking a Chalice on 1 is where I want to go next. We'll see. We'll see. I don't think it's Chalice on 2. We have too many things on 2 that I wouldn't mind playing as well. Could even just slap down a Bone Crusher Giant and be like, hey, answer this. A Blood Moon makes this interesting. I could attempt to just slam a Blood Moon here. My opponent has green here, so they're not going to have like a Dovin Veto. They're probably playing, what, Ice Fang here, so they just get basic island. If they remand, it's a little awkward. Let's do it. We're not here not to play Blood Moon. Blood Moon on turn 2 with 3 mana. Hard casted. Hard casted here. This will get a counter and it won't progress their board. A lot of the times they like a Growth Spiral here. Mana leaked. All right. Totally fine. Totally fine. My opponent's playing into Blood Moon anyway, so Blood Moon is probably just not as powerful, and my bridge will be nice to get in the future. This is the Red Prison list. I have a few lists there because we were keeping a few of them around. Alright, let's try Chalice on 1 and see if my opponent hates this. I don't think they will, but I could be wrong. Bridge will be one of the last things we play. Need to get the rest of the counter spells out of the list. This might be a Spell Queller. Basic Plains? Basic Plains. 3 mana. Spell Queller. Huh. Incredible. So here, they didn't like the 1 Chalice on 1, so we'll just repeat this. There we go. So they have 3 cards left. Definitely Teferis are options here to bounce. And then Skyclaves are easily options as well. So anytime that I can get a Karn down, go get the Torp Orb and stop these things would be great. I'll probably be playing Bonecrusher Giant next over Bridge just to see if we have any more counters that they're interested in sharing with us. And there's our Karn. Not necessarily on time because I've used the Simian Spirit Guide. Here comes another Spell Queller. Again, there goes another counter. Anger the Gods wouldn't be bad either. Granted, I don't care about a Chalice on 0, but my Bonecrusher would be nice to return to my hand. I believe I could stomp and then replay it again. So in for 2, 4, putting us to 14 here. I will be playing Bridge unless I draw the land, I think. I will be playing Bridge unless the Teferi is upticked here. I assume this is Teferi. Oh, Sword. All right, so Sword here. I think to be super safe, we'll put Bridge down. That way this doesn't get in. We'll see if they have the Force of Negation here. And if they do, I can at least play Karn down tick and get Bridge number 2. Looking good. These can still attack right now. I didn't want to use the Desperate Ritual because I do have a 4-drop. I want to be able to cast that next turn. I'd love to see them play something again because they can't equip this after attacking. Something like a Stoneforge Mystic would be great to see. Karn will shut down Sword of Fire and Ice, which is super nice. The last match was a nail biter, wasn't it? Stoneforge. Just let me play the list for you. Let me play the list for you. I got this. Don't worry about it, opponent. Batterskull to hand, Sword of Fire and Ice here. Got a Magus that's not doing anything. Let's attempt Karn. And I will have to go up here instead of down because I don't want to go down and put another card into hand and pretty much lose Karn pretty quickly here. All right, things are looking decent. I'm afraid of Teferi at any point. There's Teferi. So they can bounce Bridge and attack for 5, which means Karn lives. Karn lives. Cool. This also saves us 5. Ooh. Do we have a follow-up Teferi here? It's now a little awkward I have a Chalice on 1 because the Chalice on 1 is stopping Pithing Needle if I were to top deck a land. Okay. Is there anything in the sideboard that I would want right now? The answer is probably no. It's probably just replay this Bridge and I get lucky enough to get Chalice on 0. I'm gonna do something a little strange here, but basically I'm going to unlock my Pithing Needle for next turn. I lose to a Teferi in 2 turns here. I would much rather be able to play the Pithing Needle next turn and stop this. Like I said, 2 turns from now, we lose to this anyway, so might as well make the shot for it. They play a Noble Hierarch, that's fine. We can probably deal with that in better ways than not being able to deal with the Teferi. They didn't slam new Teferi, so I'm feeling pretty happy about that. If we draw a land here, I'd happily do Pithing and Magus. Upticks the Teferi. You should type oops in the chat to bait them. This is a bit of an awkward one. I haven't drawn a land here. Teferi's still doing Teferi things. If I sit here and not play something, I lose. So we're gonna have to play Magus here and see if my opponent counters this in any fashion. If they're able to remand this, I lose as well. Collected Company hitting Skyclave ruins us as well. A lot of things going for our opponent. A lot of things. Just a matter of what do they have. Alright, they just fetched. I'm really tempted to take this turn to go ahead and get a Tormod's Crypt here. Just in case my opponent does something with like Uro. I say that and I have a Chalice. Man, that was a dumb mistake. Just down ticking, showing off. Can do both. Let's not even fetch it. Next level play. All right, Collected Company here is what it looks like. Nope, Ice Fang in the sky. Oops. Uh-oh, this is a little awkward. Uh-oh, flying snake. A little awkward. All right, so I need a top deck, what, a land here? It's the only way I stop the Teferi. Celestial purges my Magus away, so my opponent can hit for 2. So I now have to hit a land only, because my opponent can attack me for 2 here. I could go get a Walking Ballista if I miss the land, but it would have to be a 1-drop. It's got to be a land. If not, I died to just this. I guess I could boot up Bridge, but then they could path it. Teferi's up here. We have Bird of Paradise. Noble Hierarchs are scary too. We had a Blood Moon, which means Teferi's going to be able to bounce this. I don't have a very good out here, do I? Alright, we're gonna boot up Bridge here. I'm gonna attack Teferi. We'll see how they block. There's really nothing I can do here. We can't attack because we have only 2 cards. We really don't have an out there. Alright, so let's see here. I'm thinking I do like this Anger a little bit more now. I don't like the Boil as much. Honestly, I'm just gonna take Boils and put the Chandra back in now that I'm on the play. Let's do that. Probably could do this Chalice back too. Shh, Grass. I'm gonna pull 1 Seasoned Pyromancer out. All right. It was a good line, Grace. It was the biggest brain plays. All right, I could put a Chalice on 1 here. And then what, follow that up with potentially not much? I could also do a turn 2 Chandra. I think turn 2 Chandra looks okay here. Let's keep this. They haven't really proven that they're playing forces. They're playing spell Quellers. Let's go for the turn 2 with maybe Chalice or Bone Crusher to kill whatever's played here. I feel like the land in the side has been mentioned before. Yes. Yes, it has. Do we want to talk about it? Are we interested in talking about that? What if I go down here and save Bone Crusher Giant? That's probably incorrect. They do play Force. They do play Force, getting rid of Teferi. Oh, what would I take out? Probably just like Eidolon or Rabblemaster or something, if you're wanting to go that far into it. All right, well, I'm gonna try Chalice on 1 here. If they crack this, in response to the crack, I'll attempt to stomp. If they have another Force or something like that, fine, fire that off on a Bone Crusher Giant. I don't mind burning the mana because we're trying to be ahead of our opponent. With that bird, it kind of brought it back to not being so far ahead. We'll see if they've got their 3rd land as well. Still playing around Blood Moon. Making my Blood Moons look funny. Alright, casting Bone Crusher. Pretty simple play here. Put the land in, pass the turn. Alright, so we have a 4-3. My opponent looks like they have Coco, based on them not doing too much there and not wanting to counter the Bone Crusher Giant. They have Bant colors once again. Bant colors once again. Misty. Top of the library is a Anger the Gods. It's not a bad one. We'll go ahead and attack here. They'll let this through because they're not going to block it, and I'll just pass the turn back. The Anger's a little slow if they hit a Stoneforge Mystic. So if they hit the Stoneforge Mystic off this Collected Company, we're in a little bit of trouble. No Collected Company. Good stuff. Extra Misty Rainforest. Perhaps my opponent is flooding out. Combat. We're going to rinse and repeat here. Wondering if I should slam this or not. I might not. My opponent did nothing last turn. Let's just hang tight here. It's not like it's stopping them. They have all their basics, and this might even be a basic as well. Yeah. And actually not playing Blood Moon here gives me the option of ramming out Ruins to kill. Uh-oh, opponent. Are we gonna start chump blocking? In for 4. Is it time to put Spell Queller down? The answer is no. I'll play land past turn. We have them at a virtual 2 due to the ramming out Ruins. And virtual 2 with a Bone Crusher Giant, they'll have to double block it. Noble Hierarch is a no-go. Countered. Plays a land. They have a lot of islands here. Chandra's a kill as well with ramming out Ruins. Attacking for 4. Expecting a Spell Queller. Spell Queller to jump in front of this. Does so. We'll slam a Chandra here and see if it's lethal. We'll see if it's lethal. Chandra uptick, puts them to 2, and this is the other 2. Nope. Looking good. Who needs Rabblemaster? We've got the big giant. There we go. Top of the library, Seasoned Pyromancer. We're just going to uptick here if they let us untap. This will be the 2. If they're able to gain any life in some fashion, we can also follow it up with the ramming out Ruins right after. Got it covered, taking it down. Bant. Stoneforge Spirits to Fairy. You're in the loser's bracket. Got him. Got him. Let's go to match 2. Whew. Not bad. Not a bad start to the evening. Doesn't happen often. Exactly, Uncle D being Beanball. KO lockout. Clap it. Success. Success. Only 500 more chat points for a deck list review. Nice. Nice. Let's disable those. All right. I've got to turn to nothing right now. Gray is on it. Kind of a weird hand here. I'm able to accelerate with the Gemstone Caverns. I'm losing a hand, or losing a card. So, like, is Karn the Great Creator out of this just, like, worth it? It could be. I kind of like this. I'm gonna keep. It's kind of like a mulligan down, but that I get to play first. I do have to hit a land, but we added a land. So I have these 2. So that's 2 out of my 28 mana sources here. With 28 mana sources, we're 50% this turn and then 75% the next turn for the draws there. Aether Vial, so merfolk looking things. End up top decking a Bone Crusher Giant, passing the turn. Not a land. Was it about 75% to hit here? 25% to miss? Cavern Souls, this will tell us what they're up to. Merfolk. Land me. Woo! Got there. All right. So, here, probably okay to go ahead and slam a Blood Moon. This will make their mana a little awkward, and then they can just work on their Aether Vials. They could have counters here, though. All right, Merfolk Trickster here. Not too worried about that. Has a 1-drop something else, and we'll be able to flush out the rest of their creatures here with Anger the Gods. Seeming good. Seeming good. Gonna get there. Gonna get there. I like this new Blood Moon art too. I need to get it in paper. We'll eventually get it. Maybe when paper stuff comes back. Sad face. Sad face. All right. I do really think this is a super fun and enjoyable matchup. I know some people don't like to play against Merfolk because they can kind of get underneath you and other stuff like that. But I really do think that this is a lot of fun. All right, so we hit another land here. Definitely going to play that. I see very little reason not to Anger the Gods. We have 3 cards left here. I'd like to not get hit by all of this. So we'll go ahead and just Anger here. I have Bone Crusher and Seasoned Pyromancer. Seasoned Pyromancer could create some nice jump blockers, and Bone Crusher can get rid of something. Because this is other Merfolk, this is at maximum getting to a 3/3, so I'm guaranteed pretty much to get both of these. Should be good. Cool. Now they might put like a Lord in, but I don't think I can wait for another Lord and then follow up with another Lord on their turn. That would just ruin our sorcery speed board wipe. Bridge is probably our best thing. Seasoned Pyromancer will be played if I miss Bridge. If I hit Bridge, we'll probably consider that. Down to 15 we go. We hit a Chalice. That is definitely not interesting enough. So let's go ahead and play Seasoned Pyromancer, getting rid of Magus and Chalice. Get 2 tokens and then maybe hit another land for Bone Crusher Giant. This would be the time for them to put in something if they wanted to make them 3/3s. But they don't know that I'm playing Bone Crusher Giant. They could stop this with that 1 Merfolk that prevents the abilities and stuff. I'm pretty sure they can do that right now. Would they be able to? It's already on the stack. I don't know if it checks on resolution. All right, well, we hit bridge here, which is super nice, and I get the land, so we hit the exact 2 cards that I probably needed to win this game. If they activate Aether Vial, I will shoot this to slow things down even further. So in response to this, kill this Merfolk Master. Off it goes. 2-drop coming in. Another one. Looking pretty solid here. Just got a bridge here. That's all we need. That's all we need. Now Merfolk gets a bit interesting because it's difficult sometimes to know how they're going to interact with your bridge to bounce it. It's usually a bounce effect. It's usually at about on 2, but we'll see. We will see. Opponent does not attack there. Play our land, 1, 2, 3. We'll play bridge, pass turn. We're not getting through the Merfolk here. I guess I could actually slap this guy down too. No reason really not to. Looking pretty good here. They may have a mainboard way to get around bridge. Some Merfolk players do, so we'll have to see what it is if they do have it. But my next thing I want is Karn or Chandra to close the game out. No, once the trigger's on the stack, it will still resolve unless they have a way to counter trigger activate abilities. Yeah. I know some things can check a little bit on resolution when stuff happens, but that's something different. So that stack would have always succeeded. She's a sweet one. Does Spreading Seas work under Blood Moon? Yes. I'm gonna just go up here. Oh. Karn was the hard lock that I needed. Oh well. We'll ignore this card. So, Spreading Seas, they Spreading Seas something, they could turn it into an island. So yes, it works. If I put another Blood Moon on top when it's a non-basic, then it becomes another mountain. Now you start to layer and have some fun rules questions. All right, what are we looking at here? Pithing Needle, Anger the Gods, probably. I can drop 2 Maguses maybe in this matchup. Blood Moon's still reasonable here, but you're wanting to stop them. Blockers with Seasoned Pyromancer is good. Karn and Pithing Needle for Aether Vial. Chalice to either empty hand or slap it on 1 really fast. Anger the God for your Wrath effect. You don't want creatures in this matchup. You really don't care about Boil. You could bring 1 Walking Ballista in, but I don't think you need to. Hey, thank you for the follow. How's my week? My week's been pretty good. How's yours? Just jamming some magic, playing some Blood Moons. Chalice is, but Chalice is a free spell that can help you get to bridge faster. I also don't mind a Chalice potentially on 2, because potentially on 2 is Echoing Truth, which is sometimes one of the things they run. They sometimes run Repeal as well, and then there's a few other nuance cards. Sometimes they run the same card that Storm does that has this split second, and the name of it is escaping me briefly here. Wipe Away. Sometimes they run that. Very long corporate takeover week. All right, we're gonna keep this. We do not need a Scavenger Grounds in this matchup. I'm gonna hope they don't have Aether Vial to start. They usually do, but maybe it won't be. Sweet. We'll slap down a Chalice on 1. We'll start there, plan a Magus, and see where we go. Do I play Pioneer? Not really. Not really. I played a little bit when it first came out. I like to just kind of focus on Modern. Next year, we'll look at options to do some interesting things. Let's just say that. Lord of Atlantis here. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's continue to Blood Moon. We'll save Anger for as long as we can here. Blood Moon, Chalice. Just trying to slow down my opponent here. Nothing too frightening, I think. But yeah, for me, I wouldn't mind playing Pioneer, but the focus is Modern. But next year, we might open up some options to have maybe like twice a month games outside of Modern to be things like Pioneer and Pauper and Legacy, Drafts, and other things like that. And an option. Not saying it will happen, but it is being considered. Good old Master of the Waves. Well then. We got a bunch of 2-1s here. I think I'm good with Anger the Gods. Magus of the Moon doesn't get through, and Master of the Waves is protection. Not to mention that just board wiping here gets rid of 2, 4, 6, 8-ish power, which is pretty good. So I'll take it. Pioneer Scales list, Fluffy. Oh, they force me. Ooh, a Brazen Borrower. Okay, this is super important to remember. Brazen Borrower is their out. So there's something on 2. Plays a land here. Looks like they're going to attack for quite a bit here. All right, we'll block an elemental here. I just want to preserve my life total a little bit. We basically need bridge. All right. We'll put a Chalice on 2. They're like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing a ritual here? Now, the only thing this won't save me from is a counterspell like Force of Negation on my bridge if I top deck it. We'll need Anger or we'll need Bridge. Deprives here. Nice. That works. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If they have a effect here to make Lord of Atlantis bigger. We need bridge and bridge only, maybe Anger, depending on what happens with this creature. None of those. All right, let's go to game 3. So my opponent is playing a little more counter magic than I am used to. Let's bring these boils in. Nikachu folk. That they are. Drop 1 Chalice, 1 Chandra here. I'm gonna bring 2 boils in. Theory is that if I'm ahead a little bit, I can use that at their end step. And then if I do that at their end step, I'll have a chance to potentially counter something because they'll have to counter the boil. Let's play first. Hand looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and keep. Luckily, you can keep slightly slower hands against Merfolk because Merfolk takes a turn or 2. But the thing is, what's powerful about Merfolk is that they can just get you with... Ooh, this is pretty good. Merfolk can get you kind of with like 2 or 3 swings. That's where they excel. All right, we're at 4 mana, so we'll be able to do something with like Magus, Boil, Anger, or Anger, Boil, or something. We're going to try to boil some islands. We'll see if that happens for us. Curse Catcher does prevent Boil from going off on turn 4. But we're looking at a nice steady up to turn 5. Magus of the Moon here, just chugging along. Nothing to see, opponent. Nothing to see. We might try to slam Karn. I don't know. It's tough to say. Not sure what I would put in. I doubt they attack here. We do have them off double blue. I like the extra Blood Moon. We'll just go up the curve slowly here. To me, next turn we attempt to boil and then Karn right after. This Blood Moon's kind of interesting because it has my opponent paused briefly. And I don't feel like attacking. I'm much more the control and defensive player here. I need them to miss an island. They don't. This will be their chance to go ahead and get something going for them, though. Okay, land, and we will just pass. At this point, I'm happy to play on their turn when they tap these down to avoid a Force of Negation. Extra island here. They may feel safe to do something. We're in a super good spot where we can just hang out here for forever. Absolutely forever. As soon as they get tapped down, then I'll pull the trigger. And I don't think I want to do it on my turn at any point, in fear of a force. We can also line this up where I might be able to Karn plus Boil. There's Master. Huh. Still able to counter here. I think I just wait one more turn. Pyretic. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do Anger the Gods here. See if this gets some sort of counter from my opponent. I can always just follow up with Seasoned Pyromancer if I think they're going to have another counter. And getting rid of these two. I don't know. I need the Curse Catcher to go so I can Pyretic and Boil here. We're on my turn, so it would be a Force of Negation if that happened. We could attempt to force this, though, to make them Force of Negation, to then have Karn. I think if they'd like deprive this, we could possibly go for the Ritual. Would only get the Curse Catcher, probably. So they force this. Maybe I was supposed to wait there for one more land so Curse Catcher wasn't a counter to my Boil. Lord of Atlantis. Things a 3/3 now. Let's block. Down to 16. They're keeping the counter spell up quite nicely here. Here we go again. We think they have another counter here. Oh, I'm really afraid these are going to get too large. Force check again with the Anger. Remember, they get one extra here. Let's go ahead and go one more Anger here. And then maybe I just play Seasoned Pyromancer to make blockers and hope they don't have Spreading Seas. So they're going to counter this as well. Deprives. I'm going to go ahead and play Seasoned Pyromancer here to create blockers this turn because I almost need to find a bridge. All right, that's a good set of cards there. We can Anger and bridge. And I don't think they can attack and put a Lord in. And have too many more cards left, honestly. Well, we'll see. They're doing something. Oh, Master of the Waves. Woo! Doesn't plus any of these. I could double block Curse Catcher here. Man, just stop it, opponent. Yeah, they're pretty solid. So, all right, slightly underrepresented here. Excellent, excellent. All right, we get a land. One, two, three. Attempt to anger the gods here once again. Check for one more counter, then slam bridge. Curse Catcher. We'll say okay and pay. Boom. And bridge to follow up. Hoping maybe I'm not walking straight into a mana leak. Looks good. All right. And without countering this or really anger the gods here, I think this Boil is free to fly. We'll be doing that on our next option here, which will be immediately. Get an Aether Vial. That was going to come down anyway. For Boil. Can we clear some islands, please? Thank you. Thank you. And play a Simian Spirit Guide. We are looking for Pithy Needle, Karn, Chalice. Chalice on 2 wouldn't be bad. Protects Bridge from Petty Theft. Cavern, Aether Vial on 1. Let's just keep playing Simians. Keep playing the monkey beats. Got the Boil down. Let's go. These are nice islands. They got evaporated. Goodbye. All right, Petty Theft can't bounce Bridge right now. Right now they can only play things off Aether Vial, which is good for us. They play an additional Mutavault. We get a new Cavern, don't need that. Keeping our hand to 0. No reason to chance anything by putting it to 1, 2, 3, anything like that. It took us several pretty decent draws for us. All right. We did ditch that Karn to get some pretty sweet draws, so only 2 more Karns left in the deck plus 2 bridges. What can they do? Draw an island, Petty Theft, and have enough of a board state to just swing in and kill. So we need to prevent that somehow. This is potentially step 1. So we'll put this on 2 because we know we saw Petty Theft. This only really shuts down Liquimetal Coating, which is not a card I care about. I care about my Pithy Needle, which is main board. Care about Walking Ballista. I care slightly about Torpor, but I don't think they have anything ETB that would mess with these 2 things. They're not green. Green typically has creatures that deal with artifacts and enchantments on ETB. There you go. 2's the hard lock. Karn off the top. Woohoo! 2-0. Just know the list, see what they play, lock them out. Who needs to be aggressive anymore? These are the locking days. Lock them up. 2-0. Woo. Woo. Feeling good. List is pretty solid. What's up, D20? Heebie-jeebies. Uncle DB Beanball Grace. All right. Next opponent. It's Hex Drinker 9. I'll be very disappointed if they're not Ungolgari or something. Whoa. Whoa, whoa. What if Blood Moon is super bad in this matchup? Math rules. No, you can't say that. You can't say that. It's a curse. What would be the best budget alternative to Season Pyro? Pienkir Nalaar? There is no budget alternative to what Season Pyromancer does for the deck. Yeah, it's a lot of tickets. Pienkir Nalaar is okay, but be careful by doing that because you're upping your mana curve. I can't imagine this is a smart keep, but I want to. Like, how good is Blood Moon? How good really is Blood Moon? Blood Moon's amazing. Keep. We're playing 7 of them. That's why they're so good. Pia Kirnalar is probably okay. You could probably just add more Bone Crusher Giants. That might be alright. If you wanted to go Planeswalkers, you could do something like a Sarkhan. It's not going to have the same effect, but the looting is kind of nice. You could replace them with Maze Mind Tome for looting and life gain. That's okay. It's not great because you're not getting the bodies, but it's reasonable. Basic Forest. Oh no. How bad is Blood Moon? How bad is Blood Moon? Oh no. What have we done? Don't pillage me. Tibalt or bust. Oh, okay. Okay. They named red. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Let's do it. Hey, Blood Moon. They're like, sure. Looks good, Fluffy. Looks good. I play Hex Drinker Panza. Bloodbraid Elf. If you wanted to splash a little green, you could play Koithus Red Prism. Renin 6, Bloodbraid Elf. Alright, so we've played a matchup where Blood Moon is not very good. Let's see how much we're rewarded or die because of it. My opponent goes up with Renin 6 and does attack me for 3. I'm at 17. 3 cards in my opponent's hand. Let's go ahead and slap down Magus of the Moon. Anger of the Gods can come later. Maybe my opponent can play a few things. We do have them off double green. That's typically not a big thing for them, but maybe it'll be important. I'm just kidding. Double green, there it is. Bolts. Poor Magus. Getting ready to swing in for an additional 3 here. Holding Anger of the Gods for potentially another creature to hit. Bonus Utopia Sprawl. Probably make green now. Oh, nope, red. That was red. Very red. Up goes Renin 6, and we have 1 card left. If it's a creature. Alright, perfect time to anger, that's for sure. My opponent forgets to attack, that's fine. Forgetting an attack is always welcome. We'll use anger here. It does clear some creatures, which is super nice. And then we'll get to potentially Chandra. Bone Crusher's a creature. I really want to get this Chandra down before this gets too high. That being said, this is going to have a hard time getting any land value back, so we'll see. Card swiping anxiety? I would never do that. If you want to know what we're doing when we're swiping, we're putting the card we're most likely to play on the far right. My opponent's doing some weird things with Tranquil Thickets. But yeah, the likely curve right now is Bone Crusher Magus. This Chandra becomes a priority now because we have the land. So we'll do Chandra. We're going to uptick for damage. Chalice would be nice to put on 1, but don't get to do that. We'll just have 6 through this turn pretty easily. Probably Bone Crusher into Magus at this point. 5 mana sounds like Glorybringer. It's pretty good. Little bolt action here would be frustrating to see as well. Your old name got banned, so here we are. Alright, best way to win this game is probably going to be a bridge with a Chalice on 1. Probably a follow-up Chalice on 2 will be required. I'll take an extra Bone Crusher here to deal with Glorybringer, possibly. Scoop in sight. Far from it. We continue to play. My opponent's only got us on a 4-turn clock. Magus of the Moon played here. We have 3 cards for my opponent. Wrenn and 6s at 7. Opting to probably go up one more time here before using the emblem. We can check that with the Bone Crusher Giant if we miss second Bone Crusher for Glorybringer. Opponent's paying 5 mana. It looks like they've hit running Glorybringers here. Best card draw right now is Bridge. Bloodbraid Elf, okay. Floating 1 green. New Wrenn and 6. Would you like to play that? I assume no. Alright, so they hit me for 7 this turn. If they exert this, if they don't, I block. They cycle a Tranquil Thicket. Oh, they're picking this up with the Wrenn and 6. That's what they're doing. I'm missing this interaction. Because they did get to cycle this. It's a big brain. Big brain. Like, man, they're drawing a crazy amount of cards. Alright, bridge or bust here, I think. So it's going to have to be bridge. Bridge into... who knows at this point? Who knows? Alright. Chalice on 1 to stop the lightning bolts in the yard here. This is exerted. I'm going to go ahead and just pass the turn. Bone Crusher is going to hit Bloodbraid Elf. We need to hit Bridge, and then we're going to need to hit... we're going to have to hit Karn with Liquid Metal Coating to keep Wrenn and 6 in check so that Wrenn and 6 doesn't tick down and kill us. But no scoops yet. Doing pretty good considering I had a 4 Blood Moon hand against a deck that doesn't care about Blood Moon. And this will kill us. Koitha's God of Destiny. I don't believe I can beat that now. I don't have a good way to clear the yard fast enough and consistently enough to prevent this from killing us. Alright, let's stomp here. We can try though. They do no damage here. Bridge, they attack for 2. This would be a 3rd damage. There's Chandra. Chandra down tick here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down tick 9. Yeah, I'm just dead. I'm just dead. Alright, well, Blood Moons aren't very good here, so let's get rid of those. Angers and Eidolons are going to basically come in for the replacement of the Blood Moon effects. Do I want anything else? We have Crypt, no. Pithy Needle, possibly, but I'd rather find that off of Karn. We have Liquid Metal Coating for Karn, Torp Orb. Bridge is off Karn. So it's really just the aggro package and Anger. We're not well suited probably to beat this matchup. This is going to be a very strong underdog just because of how our deck was constructed. But we're going to give it a best shot. We know what we need. Know what we need. Woo. But yeah, Ponzo's already a bit of a harder matchup. They sit right into our Blood Moon plan. They do it a little bit better sometimes. And by better, I mean not faster, but they have better creatures after they play it. I like this hand. This is fine. Turn 2 Chalice, removal spell, digging and token creation. It's about as good as we're going to get. About as good as we're going to get. What is funny is you can turn 1 a Blood Moon against this opponent, and they might have to have that fetch and basic force is what they are looking for. The deck plays 20 lands with 4 Arbor Elves and 4 Utopia Sprawls quite often. So you could go with that turn 1 Blood Moon plan. I wouldn't in this list, but if you're playing that turbo variant, definitely an option. So if it's Utopia Sprawl, probably land Chalice. If it's a Arbor Elf, we'll fire it off with Bone Crusher here on turn 2. Prismatic Vista. There's that fetch land we talked about needing to go get something like a basic forest. I'm going to put Chalice on 1 here. Even though I'd love to slam out a Rabblemaster immediately, it's kind of nice to have this Chalice as an option to protect Rabblemaster from something like a Bolt. They'll go ahead and fetch basic Mountain and Bolt me just to get the 3 damage in. And this is where Bonecrusher Giant's going to be a lot better than a Braid. It can be used as a removal, but it also can be used in the nice way of being just a nice big creature. All right, Wrenn and 6 going to go up here on the Prismatic Vista, no doubt. Looks pretty good. We find another Chalice. Don't think there's a reason to put this down on 2. We'll put Rabblemaster in. I do want to somewhat get rid of this Wrenn and 6 here. So we will go ahead and attack it for 1 token. And next turn we can attack it with the tokens and have Bonecrusher Giant. Looking decent here, although we were on the play for game number 2. All right, so we know about the Prismatic Vista. That's about all we know. Deck runs some number of Bloodbraid Elves. Occasionally they have things like Tireless Tracker. This could be a Pillage, Molten Rain, Stone Rain. Sometimes they're heavy on those. Okay, they're just gonna remove the Goblin. That's fine. So this isn't an Anger or anything like that. Could be a Seasoned Pyromancer. Pillages off a land. There we go. All right, so this looks like a perfect turn to just stomp away the Wrenn and 6, boot up the Rabblemaster, and just hit my opponent for some damage. It looks like my opponent set me back a land, but I have this hidden Simian Spirit Guide I can use on Seasoned Pyromancer next turn. I'll sub for 5 years if you get Chalice on 5. All right, Bloodbraid, we want them to hit a 1-drop, like Arbor Elf, Utopia, or Bolt. Braid. All right, well, luckily I've got Chalice to replace my Chalice if they go there. They opt to go for the Rabblemaster. It's probably the smarter play. Will they attack, or are they going to stay back on defense? Attacks. I like it. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and do a Seasoned Pyromancer. I'm going to get rid of Chalice and Anger the Gods because I have this spot removal. I want to hit my 3rd land here since my opponent set me back on the land. Awkward. Attack for 1 and pass turn. We hit our 3rd and 4th land, technically. Not great, though. I'm not sure I will commit any more to the board here. We'll see, though. Their own Seasoned Pyromancer. They get rid of their last 2 cards and draw 2 fresh cards. Probably a Bolt in there or a Arbor Elf, I would think. Something at 1, probably. There's a Bolt. Bolt and land. 2 fresh cards. We'll see if they decide to attack now. They do. All right, this is kind of interesting. I can go ahead and block this way, and I have my Seasoned Pyromancer to lose there. At this point, realistically, I could have top deck an Anger, and then Anger the board. They don't get their Seasoned Pyromancer, and I would, because it would be in the yard. Anywho. I think we go ahead and happily attack here, losing 1 token, maybe trading the other elemental. And I'll just slap down probably Bonecrusher Giant here. I'm not ready to give them this because I want to see what else this Bonecrusher could hit. So we'll put new Bonecrusher into play and pass turn. Alright, Wooded Foothills, 2 unknowns. Looks like a 4-drop Chandra or Bloodbraid. Another Bloodbraid here, spins the wheel. It's a Pillage. So they could go after land again if they don't want to do this Chalice. Kills a land. We have a 3-2 and a 2-2 for them. See if they decide to go into combat here. They do with the Bloodbraid Elf. I think I'll go to 11 here, because I can easily stomp this away and keep my 4-3. It's an interesting draw. All right, let's go combat. Let's attack with Bone Crusher Giant. We'll just save Bone Crusher's stomp ability here and probably take this Bloodbraid Elf out. This trades is fine. We have to get through those tokens eventually. Thank you for the follow. Very, very afraid of a Glorybringer. Stomping Ground and 1 unknown card. We do have 6 mana available to them, which is a Seasoned Pyromancer. An additional 4 here can be another Bloodbraid or a Chandra. Fetching makes me think it's the big dragon. The big dragon. Nope, Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. All right. We must be hurting if that's what they're doing main phase here. Let's go ahead and stomp this away. All right. Well, let's go ahead and Bone Crusher out. I'm going to just swing with the Bone Crusher plus the Elemental here. Willing to trade, make them just chump block. I think finishing this game is better for us since we've been pillaged a few times. Lucky for me, they're not getting rid of the Chalice, so any bolts aren't going to be interactive against our Bone Crusher Giants. My opponent decides to take all of it. Takes the top deck. So they did Seasoned Pyromancer, don't even block with these, and so it does make me wonder what is this card they have in hand. I'm assuming at this point it's land or something that was on 1. It just seems like there are probably better things to do. Wrenn and 6. Can pick up a land, but that doesn't really benefit them. Maybe kill this. Kills the token. All right. We do not have another Seasoned Pyromancer, right? We do not. Okay. We're taking another look here. Just because I'm sitting here with this Karn. Not particularly liking that I have this Karn in 2 mana and a lot of non-lands versions of mana. Let's go ahead and attack them. This is lethal. They will have to block one of these or deal with one of them. Keeping in mind that if they target it at all, that's an additional 2 damage. Cool. All right. Looks like we're blocking both of these. I'm gonna pass turn because I actually could just Seasoned Pyromancer to make a bunch of tokens or pair, and then we'd have a lot of damage across just a variety of creatures. All right, a pair of Utopia Sprawls apparently for my opponent. That's why sometimes a bunch of pillages doesn't get you there. Sometimes. So we've got a win on the draw, game 3 against Ponza, a difficult matchup where we want lands, but we want to accelerate threats or ways to interact. I don't think I'll make any changes here, even though Blood Moon could be potentially nice. I don't think I want to be going down that line. We need our Seasoned Pyromancers, Rabble Masters, and Bone Crusher Giants. You saw how powerful Chalice on 1 was. They need the Abrades for bridge, and they don't seem to want to kill my Chalice on 1. They'd rather kill my lands. We'll see if that changes here in game 3. We'll see. Okay. Well, I think there is nothing better to do here but keep this and go Chandra Chalice on turn 1. I know that my opponent, yes, might have bolts and other things like that. They may get that Arbor Elf down, but I'm not going to care. Let's make it happen. And yes, we're getting rid of a land for this. Good luck, opponent. Windswept Heath, show me the 1-drop. Nothing. You're done. You're done. Got ended. Ritual. Simeon. Chandra. Uptick. Chalice on 1. Go. Good luck. Ooh, we like those starts. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We will be probably playing the gemstone down. We'll float mana, so we have 3. When I uptick here, I can at least get a 3 drop. Seasoned Pyromancer would be the best thing to see off Chandra. Alright. Floating mana. Up with Chandra in case we get Seasoned Pyromancer. We don't. Scavenger Grounds. Play Magus. Pass turn. Chandra's at 6. If we can get an emblem out of Chandra, we're pretty close to winning this one. Magus helping my opponent out a little bit. Unless they needed double green. It's a pretty good start. Let's see what they got. 3 mana. God of Destiny. At this point in the game, I could beat this. Ugh. Alright, we'll go for the 3 mana again. Oops. Up with Chandra, 3 mana. Seasoned Pyromancer. Rabblemaster. I don't want an Anger. We're going to leave Magus back on defense for this turn. Hitting a 3rd land here, I may be priced into doing a Chandra downtick. Opponent doesn't need mana. They're trying to preserve their life total. 4th land. Here we go with the Bloodbraid Elf. Spins the wheel. What do they hit? Scavenging Ooze is pretty good. Scavenging Ooze is pretty good. We don't have any creatures yet, but we're about to put creatures in. This is almost certainly has to be an emblem. I've been a little unlucky to hit all 3 of my gemstone caverns. We'll be blocking. Yep. And block. All right. All right, so I hit a Seasoned Pyromancer. It's a bit interesting here because this could help me get other creatures. If they have another Bloodbraid Elf, we'll end up losing our Chandra to, or not losing, but it'll take damage. I don't think I can win with just an emblem here because I need to then top deck a land. I think it has to be a play of the Seasoned Pyromancer. As much as I would love to. Let's hit land. Oof. Oh. Oh. Alright. Oh, that was fun. Glorybringer is gonna be rough. Well, we weren't hitting land in the next 2 draws. So Glorybringer would be just wrecking us. Not to mention that God of Destiny. We are getting our 5th mana here. This is not looking good for us. Well, they're not racing up to 5. Oh, just nice and slow. So this is 6 at Chandra here. Exerted. Not looking so hot. I can eat something. 1, 2, 3. Make a bunch of blockers, but I would lose Karn here. Is it just an Anger the Gods here? Then maybe a downtick on Glorybringer as the follow-up. Yeah, I'm thinking it's Anger. Playing Karn, we just lose Chandra or Karn. Then I've got to beat this. Really, really, really need... really need a land. That's what I need. Alright. God of Destiny doing God of Destiny things. Takes Seasoned Pyromancer. No surprise there. We thought we had the great start. The quick Chalice too. It seems that my opponent didn't have too many 1-drops, but maybe they're sitting on some right now. Red, red, green. Don't be a Bloodbraid Elf, please. Alright, Seasoned Pyromancer. I can sort of deal with this. Sort of. Mountain and Seasoned Pyromancer making 1 elemental. Alright, can I have a land, please? Huh. Well, that's interesting. Do we think they have an Abrade? Maybe. Do we have to just play into it like they do? Absolutely. Yeah, it's just bridge, right? It's hard not to bridge here. As I twiddle my fingers here trying to find a way to lock my opponent out here. Don't have a Braid, please. Don't unlock the big scary dragon. Keep him back on his little temple, please. Stay back. Magus of the Moon's been devoured by a God of Destiny here. We're going to 14 and 19. No, no, that's 2 mana. Keep going up. Play a Bloodbraid Elf. Just 1 time. A Braid. A Braid's away our bridge here. My opponent attacks us for 4, 5, 6, 7. That puts me at half life if they go straight to me. They'll probably send 4 here and 3 at me, putting me to 11 with a dead Chandra. Needing a land drop. Again, we'd be okay if the Gemstone Caverns weren't Gemstone Caverns. Alright, well, Seasoned Pyromancer here. We need blockers. We need another bridge. Oh my gosh, I need a land. Where's my lands? Eats Karn, go down to 9. This puts us to 5 here in the air. Maybe even exerts here on the Seasoned Pyromancer, and if they exert here, they're getting in for an 5 damage, putting me to 4 and 2 turns on God of Destiny. I like that if that's what they do. Could also just, you know, swing with a big dragon in the air. Alright, well, I hit my bridge. So we got there. God of Destiny kills me in 3 turns. And I don't have anything in all of Red Prison to get rid of this card. This is why we sometimes play Koithis Red Prison. Takes Chandra down to 3. Up to 23 for them. 2 turns. Oh, do they have another Abrade? Just end me. Just end me. Extra Abrade here. Red-White Lockout could, with like Celestial Purge, indeed. Alright, our opponent gets us here, gets rid of both of our Braids and takes the match. We just could not find a land. Could not. And I know we had the couple. And we ditched a land in order to do the turn 1. Didn't get us there, unfortunately. Trash and BS. Been watching your YouTube for a while now. You're my favorite MTGO person by far. Thank you. Appreciate you watching and supporting our channels by doing so. Don't forget to share with your friends. Or just post places occasionally. It helps support us, grows our channel so we can find more people to entertain with our turn 1 Chandras that don't get there. I wonder if I emblem there what happens. We end up getting just a Bone Crusher Giant. We just wouldn't have gotten there, I think. The Bone Crusher Giant with the emblem of Chandra would have killed the Glory Bringer. Would have slowed things down. We had to dig really far to get those extra lands, though. Not sure that would have changed anything. All right, match 4 here, continuing to play the Red Prisons. And this hand doesn't really actually do anything. We have an Anger of the Gods that may not be useful, and some ritual effects. I think this is worth a mulligan on the play. All right, Blood Moon. At least it did a little bit more than my opponent, my previous hand did. I don't particularly like this, but we'll keep. Make us look like, I don't know, Red Prowess that forgot to play their 1-drop. That's a good way to start. Good ways. Uh-oh. Island. Surge Node. Ooh, okay. It's getting interesting. Getting interesting quickly here. Guess I'll be ritualing Karn. Go ahead, Surge Node player. Dice Factory. Astral Cornucopia. Core Tapper. Throw the Chalice on 0. Karn, and then we'll play down with Karn to go get Liquid Metal Coating. And let's end this person. Lemon ginger tea with honey? Whoa. Whoa. All right, so Surge Node offline, Cornucopia offline, Core Tapper offline, Blast Node still online. We have Blood Moon for that. Good luck, Dice Factory. This feels super justified after Extra Life this year. And our fan base here, and what they did to me. Rude. Rude. Uncle DB. Stickball Russ, and then someone else also. Botanical Sanctum here for my opponent. I'm gonna probably lead with Blood Moon. My opponent attacks Karn for a measly 1. Please. Another Chalice? Let's try Blood Moon first. Uptick here. Pass turn. What did the fan base do to me? YouTube knows. YouTube knows. Wow, Blood Moon didn't do much. We have Island Forest here. Attacking Core Tapper. Kind of want another land in case they have mana leak. Thanks. Liquid Metal Coating. I'm gonna shut off the island here. And I probably am okay with putting a Chalice on 1 in case they play their own like Pithing Needle or something. Go ahead, opponent. Trying to think what Dice Factory had that could get them out of this. What do they have? Nothing. That's what. Nothing. All right, let's be the aggressor here. Rabblemaster's Eidolon's in. Kind of like this Pithing and Damping Sphere, honestly. Let's bring those in. Let's get rid of Anger of the Gods. Let's get rid of a couple Blood Moons. And like 1 bridge and 1 extra Blood Moon here. We're keeping the bridge in because my opponent could have Wormcoil Engines. We're bringing in a lot more aggressive things to attack my opponent. Karn's obviously our best line here. Not always going to get it. I think we just want to have a reasonably aggressive hand. Eidolon Rabblemaster would probably look pretty good. So let's look for something like that. Oh, you mean like this, Fluffy? Yeah, like this. Perfect. You wanted turn 1 Blood Moon? Yeah, but I like turn 1 Rabblemaster too. Oh, okay, we can do that for you. Thanks, deck. I love you too. Love you too, Fluffy. Glad to have you back. Thanks for stopping and playing. Being awesome. Appreciate it. That's how you treat. That's how you treat it. You just tell your deck how much you love playing the 60, the 75. It will reward you. Opponent played a Surge Node, Astral Cornucopia, and Yamavaya Coast. They've got 4 cards left, but I've got Rabblemaster on turn 1. Good luck, opponent. This will be a race. What's up, Nidia? Spire. Engineered on 0. Rude. Blows up Cornucopia if they touch it. Combat. Swinging in. Go ahead, opponent. Your move. Takes the damage. Doesn't want to use Engineer Explosives. This does turn this on. Maybe that's what they wanted. All of them turn it on, by the way. Cornucopia going up here off the Surge Node. Does this again. We have an Astral Cornucopia on 2. They don't want to blow that up with Engineered Explosives. 4 mana. Urza. Urza, where's up? Our record is 2-1. Alright. Construct here. Urzas. This grows this. That's a good reason to have that. Let's make an informed decision here. Seasoned Pyromancer. By the way, it's good to know that the Magus would have shut off an Urza. Wasn't thinking of that. Let's go combat here, wide with tokens. Pass turn. If I top deck a land, I can get rid of Urza, and then I could probably go just wide around my opponent. They don't really ever want to pop the Engineer Explosives because it gets rid of Construct and a Cornucopia. We'll see if that becomes a problem here. Extra island. 2 cards. 7-ish mana with this. A little bit more with this. What's up? Surge Node this. 1 less here. I'm expecting this to be activated. I think it's Urza Spin the Wheel, unless they have just a slam dunk in their hand. Don't want to pop this. They won't ever do that, right? There's Karn, greatest of creators. Wonder what they go get here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They can't get Wormcoil, thankfully. Let's find out. They could get Liquimetal Coating. Whoa, they get Bridge. That's cool. It's a cool card. I like that card. I like that card. I mean, they could get Wormcoil. They just can't cast it. All right. Bridge is up to defend Karn Great Creator. Land me. Oh. Combat. Probably just want to go ahead and swing everything at Karn. They block 2. This goes to 1. I'll play my own bridge. I don't want Karn to use another down tick here immediately. Does a double block. Whoa. Cody Hope raiding with a party of Lucky 7. Welcome. How's everyone doing on this fine Friday? We're trying to lock people out. That's what we're trying to do. And then we're going to do some really cool things in League number 2. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, how much mana can you make? Oh my gosh, there's Saheeli. There's Saheeli. All right, I like what's going on here. My opponent, ooh, Ancient Stirrings. All right. All right. Love to get this Chandra down. A Blast Zone has been found. That's pretty good. Plays the Blast Zone. We're at 0 cards. Nothing can attack this turn. Makes this into a creature. Thanks. Right now they can't kill it, that I know of. We played against this deck twice on stream. It's a fun one for sure. It seems fun. Copies, what do they do? They copied something and I'm not paying attention. Seagate, oh my gosh. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. Nice. 1 card draw. Okay. One, two, three, 4, 5. Oh, new Urza. Okay. That just makes new construct. And they have 4 mana, so they can't activate this. Alright. Empty-handed. Give me the land. That'll do. That'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Chandra downtick on Urza here, so they're just on top deck mode. And pass the turn. They could go get like Pithy Needle or something here. And if they do, then we lose Chandra probably. But that would mean they lose their Karn. So I think this Karn's going up one more time. Because we have Pithy Needle instead of Spyglass, we have 5 mana here with this Chandra. Something we could Karn and Pithy Needle ourselves out of the game. And then just win off Chandra, right? Right? Yeah. 2 Urzas down. There's only 2 more left. I don't want a Pithy Needle Urza. Oh, I brought the Pithy Needle in. Oh gosh, they duplicated this. They have 3,000 mana. Oh no, they're using Karn. This cannot be good. Turn off auto yields. Walking Ballista. Oh my gosh. That's going to be a huge Walking Ballista. Luckily I have this. They'll probably shoot Chandra. If I top deck a land, we at least keep Walking Ballista a little bit in check. I have a few Blood Moons. I do kind of need one for Blast Zone. Cha-ching, 5/5. Pew 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 pew. Shoot this once. Ow! Ow! Shoots Rabblemaster. Ow! Yeah, Blast Zone's gonna be something I need to be mindful of. Alright, we have what? 2 tokens here. With this Karn, I should probably... What? Should I just downtick to go get like Liquimetal Coating to then shut this off and work my way through what they've got? I'm guessing that's probably what we want to do. We have enough blockers here that I can block these servos. One's got 1 card in hand. I think it is Liquimetal Coating. Liquimetal Coating just to shut the Blast Zone off. Here they go. Walking Ballista shoots 1. And just hope their top rip isn't like insane here. Go ahead. They have a lot less mana now, so that's something to be noting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. It'll be 4 after I get to play, which is pretty good. I think I do have to kill Blast Zone first though, because they could put it up to 3 and get rid of Bridge and start attacking this with their constructs, and that's a no-go. Nope. Saheeli's not copying anything. Okay, we'll see if they have a counter spell. I have Mana Leak covered. Alright, Blast Zone first. Trying to lock them out. We'll go after the blue mana next. Trying to avoid new Urza if possible. Hold Simian Spirit Guide for now. I can pitch it if it looks like they'll be on a wide enough board to threaten Karn. Let's begin the lock. No. Blue mana. Smart. Okay. Giving us the turn back. New Karn. Interesting. Is there anything else I want? I could just have New Karn as a backup to this Karn. Let's go ahead and let's shut down the basic island in case I top deck one of my Blood Moon-esque effects. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and play Simian Spirit Guide just as an extra blocker here. We don't want to hold too many cards in hand on the off chance my opponent can attack through. Another Seagate. So they're top decking all their blue mana. Trying to keep up with Karn the Great Creator. He is very great. Pithing Needle. Well, we'll continue to attack blue mana. I think we just name Urza Lord High Artificer. Even though the mana's not stopped, the spin ability is. And we don't like to spin. That makes you dizzy. That makes you dizzy. All right, F6 through to their turn. Needing them to miss on a land drop. Karn the Great Creator. All right, they stopped my Liquimetal Coating. So we're in an interesting, sort of not really standstill here. Could have named a Blast Zone, I suppose, with this Pithing Needle. They go Revealing and go pick up something. What? I don't know yet. So I need Chandra, I guess. Man, we're all locked out, all kinds of craziness. Paradox Engine, that's fine. Ugh, I'm one away from this Karn being killed. I only have 4 things here. Surprised I didn't take out the Blast Zone first. Let's hit 2 artifacts here to start shrinking constructs. Let's get rid of the Astral Cornucopia. Because I really don't have anything in my sideboard that I want. Play New Karn. Let's go ahead and get rid of Ensnaring or Engineered Explosives. Their own bridge is actually making it so the construct doesn't attack us. I can't quite get through to Karn, otherwise I would have done a double down with the Bone Crusher Giant. In some ways, we're hoping that we just rip Bone Crusher number 2 and get that kind of clumping that we sometimes see in MTGO. If we do that, we can double down on this Karn, get rid of it. Okay, Paradox Engine's played. The other thing that could happen is if they wanted to somehow like attack me. Wow, they make Pithing Needle a dude. That's dangerous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's probably not worth it. I don't think I can get this. So the question is, what else could I maybe go get that matters here? I could get a bigger Walking Ballista. Suppose I'm not disappointed in potentially that. I wonder if I'm supposed to kill Saheeli. We'll just play a bigger Walking Ballista than theirs. I'm not worried about the servo production because I have my own bridge protecting me. I'm feeling fairly safe. I could stomp it though. I'm more concerned, I guess, about this blast zone than anything. Keeping in mind that I took out all the angers as well. I have a bunch of 2/2s as well, so these 1/1s don't do a whole lot. Ups on my Pithing Needle again. Can you please leave that alone? Thanks. Appreciate it. Okay. Chalice. Chalice of the Void, huh? Alright, let's just kill Saheeli here. I don't think I'm going to get to this Karn anytime soon. Replay, and then see if I can get a Chalice maybe on 3 in the future. The Blast Zone's a problem. All right, we'll see where they put Blast Zone here. I'm guessing it's going to 3. And I'm going to have to deal with a pair of constructs here. They do put it on 3. Land. Okay. Now what? Going down with Karn the Great Creator, revealing. This is a grindy matchup. Wurmcoil. Oh, is that all? All right, they're opting to put down Wurmcoil here, so I have a chance to maybe get this. That's the least of our worries. Nice rip. Nice rip off the top. We'll slap down the Magus of the Moon. I think, to me, the scariest thing now is probably a Pithing Needle from my opponent. So we'll go ahead and slap down our own Chalice on 1 to protect that. And now we're just looking for Chandra to kill. Can't play Urza, so that's covered. Our Pithing Needle is kind of irrelevant. Not sure how they can kill this with a opposing Karn to protect from Walking Ballista. Oh yeah, that's right. Karn does Karn things. Never mind. Whatever. Chalice hanging out on 1. Silly me. Silly me thinking that was a relevant card. Funny. I'm gonna go down here and go get the Torp Orb. I don't particularly actually want to draw with Seasoned Pyromancer because we are slightly ahead on cards as well. So if this comes down to milling, we want this to be an option. Simple, right? How do we win this? Very, very, very wide board with Rabblemaster tokens. Or Chandra. Core Tapper, Core Tapper, Core Tapper, Core Tapper. We do need to defend Magus for forever. They love my Pithing Needle. They can't get enough of my Pithing Needle there. New bridge. Play bridge. I don't ever feel like I should activate any of their artifacts unless I get maybe a way to destroy one. But I don't see that happening anytime soon. Back and forth and we go. I think we're pretty close to hardlocking our opponent out of this game. They keep revealing artifacts, though. We'll see what else they've got in the bag. Oh, we can do it. We can do it, Varos and Address. We can go super wide. ultra wide. Let's go ahead and hydrate. You should too. Ancestral statue. Return a non-permanent you control to its owner's hand. Return a non-land permanent you control. All right. Are you gonna steal one of my stuff? Doesn't play this brand new sweet card that they got. Gives us the turn back. We'll land and pass again. I am F16 through to save time. I don't expect much to happen here where they get rid of my Karn and then unlock Walking Ballista. Really, to be their own, but drinks water from the bath. All right, show me my Chandra, please. There we go. There she is. All right, by upticking here, we are going to equalize our decks. There you have it. Chandra, finishing it out, getting the W. Seasoned Pyromancer, who needs that, dude? We're 3-1. Finally found her. 3-1, getting a little bit choked up on lands in that one matchup. Let's see if we can slide into a 4-1. Little back-to-back 5-0-4-1 with the list wouldn't be a bad showing at all. Match 5, we play first. Let's look for turn 1 Blood Moon. Well, it's no Blood Moon, however they're Obosh. We'll keep this because we have 2 removal spells, which might be pretty good against Prowess. Not to mention the bridge is pretty sweet as well. We'll be looking for Chalice to put on 1 so we don't get burned out. Let's see that. Bomat. Looks good. And I love the F6 button so much. Bam. Just gone. Just gone. Alright, what's your next card, opponent? Swifty. The Monastery Swift Spear of Speed and Agility. Attacks, light up the stage. The stage is lit. Stage is lit. Land, Seasoned Pyromancer. Sounds good. I love the F6 button so much. Kill, F6. Seems similar. Did we 5-0 earlier? We got our deck list posting of this list from last, what was it, Monday? So yeah, we did 5-0. Blood Moon and Firebolt hit the yard. Thinking bridge is a little slow here. Let's go ahead and play a Bonecrusher Giant to create a roadblock and pass. We have land and bridge next if we want, or land and Bonecrusher. Swift Spear. Am I actually hitting F6 or just regular 6? I'm calculating the average diameter of the lens that I see you all through, divided by the ratio of lighting in the room and the probability of the converted mana cost of my opponent, and clicking that number. Thanks for the bits. Stage is lit again. Thank you so much. 500 biddies. What do we find? Bonecrusher and bolts. Oops, undo. All right. Well, we're kind of dying quickly here. I'm a little afraid with this bolt Bonecrusher here. Chandra, maybe down tick on like the Swift Spear because it's the most damage next turn. Pass the turn, then we land Chandra Bridge. Puts us under this. We're at 12. Needed that Chalice. Look at that homework with the little light bulbs. Look at that emote. All right, my opponent's got a million cards here. They bolt us at end step here. That goes to ours. It's probably just 2 and play it. 2, 4, 6 puts me to 3. And then really by being at 3, this plus Obosh kills. I'm at 6. Stomps me and then replays the Bone Crusher Giant. Okay. All right, hear me out. Land, Chandra, uptick, bridge. Still have a land in hand. 2 damage. Firebolt in the yard castable. So my opponent kills me. No need to show him anymore. No need to show them any more. So this matchup. Angers, Rabble Masters. These can come in. Don't want Eidolons. Don't really want anything else. Let's go ahead and get rid of the Blood Moons. I like Chalice. Don't mind Karn for the extra bridge. Chandra's fine. Seasoned Pyromancers are good. Bridges are amazing. Yep. That's what we gotta do. Don't want the Eidolons because I'm probably gonna be hiding behind a bridge. Hoping for Chalice on 1. Let's run it. We fought hard. We did. We tried. We tried. Let's go. This is going to be a tough one. Prowess is a little bit harder for us, but it's not as bad as Burn, I think. Both are beatable, most certainly. Prowess is probably just a little bit easier. So we'll see. We'll see. Looking for Chalices and Bridges or Anger the Gods. Fast things to do like this. Keep. Didn't even look at the other cards. I saw this one, I saw this one, I saw this one. We have a very painful mana base though. We'll see how much that hurts. Chalice on 1, good luck, Prowess opponent. All on you. Dang, you can't do anything here. Chalice on 1, brutal. Go ahead, opponent. They'll have to get to 3 before they can play anything. Thanks, Obosh. Thanks, Obosh. Anger is not what I really want to see. All right, go. Get wrecked, opponent. Not yet. Oh no, opponent. They're about to get wrecked. Now they could stomp. They could stomp. Something they could do. Karn, downtick, Liquimetal Coating. If you don't have the land here, it's gonna be lights out. By the way, we got the Seasoned Pyromancer covered if they play that. Would have been funny if they had the Cavern of Souls on turn 1 and wrecked me. Is that how I'm reading that? All right, Liquimetal Coating. Get rid of a land here. And that's a full lock. Chalice on 1 and my opponent never able to get beyond that. Sounds good to me. Submit. Submit. It is kind of funny that they wouldn't play Cavern of Souls, but I don't know what the creature density is and how they cross over for creature types. What is Bomat, a construct? And then Swift Spear is a human? I don't know. What would be some of the crossovers? Would it even make sense? Ooh, thank you, Nydia, for that gifted sub to J-Turn. Thank you. What matchup do I want Eidolon in? Burn. Burn or a control. They run 12 humans? Oh, there you go. Magus of the Moon, huh? With a bridge and 3 lands to get through plus the draw. This one can probably see a mulligan. My opponent gets a few things going and we're just going to be hurting. I'd rather see Anger. I'd rather see something more aggressive. I'd rather see Chalice. Let's mulligan. Did anyone see that? You just blinked and things just didn't change. They literally didn't change. These were all in the same spot. I mean, Rabblemaster's aggressive, but the rest of the hand's not very good. I guess I get rid of Karn. Get rid of Karn, have 3 lands. I have Bridge. Look to draw. We could try it. Alright, I'm going to keep getting rid of Karn here. We're going to play Rabblemaster probably first and then Bridge, unless their board state's like crazy. I can't go digging for forever. So my opponent's got a Bolt here. We top deck a land, which isn't what we want. Alright. Well, we're doing things. The Shuffler's great. Prized possession. Firebolts me and to light up the stage. Stage is lit, finds 2 lands. Alright. We're going to lead with Magus. Yes, this seems odd. No, he's just a blocker. Swifty. And stomps away. The Magus hits me for 2. We need to stop drawing lands here because the bridge is not useful until we're down to about 2 cards. We get to attack for 1 with the Goblin token here. Swift Spear in play. Will more than likely block. Land for my opponent. Bone Crusher in exile. Bolting Rabblemaster. Attacks for 2 and maybe replays Bone Crusher Giant. That's what they're doing. Alright. We hit our own Bone Crusher Giant. That's kind of cute. I kind of want to destroy their Swift Spear because it's the smaller creature. While they're tapped out. I can chump block their Bone Crusher Giant. And then we can get the bridge down. We do have to worry about Obosh and Bolt and Firebolt effects. Oh gosh, they're playing Blast Zone. Yeah, correction, we will not block because, you know, Goblin died. Jump block there. Alright, we're going to put Bone Crusher Giant in here. Blast Zone's a real big problem for us because it does get rid of Bridge. So there you go. That's the card utility land they're playing. We'll see if they bump this up at all or if they bolt our own Bone Crusher. And they do bolt our own Bone Crusher here. This does mean 4 damage is going to come through, and we're going to be sitting at 10. Being at 10 with this doubling, we're at 6. And we're really at -2, because Blast Zone will be able to kill Bridge and allow this to attack. Not looking very good. Soulscar Mage. Season Pyromancer. Best draw here is probably Chalice. And that would probably be the only thing that could get us out of this. So if we top deck a Chalice, we can play Chalice, Bridge, and land. And then I could follow that up with some sort of Blood Moon effect to stop this. That's probably our only out. Chalice? Nope. Alright. We'll play Bridge. We'll go ahead and pass with the Desperate Ritual in hand. Maybe that'll get them to think they can attack. Anger is sort of an out, but not really. Because we're stopping this anyway with the Bridge. I suppose we have a turn here if they don't decide to try to put Blast Zone up to 3. And Blast Zone up to 3 kills 2 of their creatures right now. This should just be in hand by this point, but they keep forgetting about their cool Obosh over there. Alright, Chandra down. Let's see if we can top deck a Chalice here for 1. It's a mountain. Pass turn. We'll see how often they forget about this this Obosh here. Alright, they're going to go the route of putting Blast Zone up to 3. Use Blast Zone's ability to kill Bridge here, which kills Bone Crusher and Seasoned Pyromancer. Attack with Swift Spear and Soulscar Mage and perhaps Bolt me. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would put me to 2, which would mean then they would just have to untap with a land and Firebolt me. So Blast Zone blows things up. If there's a Bolt upstairs, plus this puts me to 2. Deciding to Lava Dart Chandra instead of going for the kill then. Because that would have put me at 8. Sacrifice 7. This would have been... okay, maybe it's not enough. There's a Anger the Gods. Would have been 1 short. Follow up Soulscar Mage. Follow up Bomat. I'm going to 8. Follow up Anger. Talk about that Chalice on 1, by the way. Lights the Stage is their other drawn card. Finding Mountain and Lava Dart. Let's kill Soulscar Mage here, or attempt to. They can use the Lava Darts as prowess to save this. I'd rather the prowess happen now and not have the Bone Crusher die, I suppose. I don't think it's going to matter, because if I kill Bomat over here, they just cycle it to draw a card. And then they'd have Lava Dart, Lava Dart, Lava Dart to kill this. Oh, they just drew the Bolt. It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I still think Obosh should have been in hand much earlier. My opponent ignores both their Lava Darts for the kill. They put Obosh into hand. So I have an out of a Bridge now. Seasoned Pyromancer. Well, I have 2 blockers now. Obosh still is a kill, but we'll continue to play. My opponent seemed to have missed the previous kill. Let's see if they get it this time. Firebolts, Seasoned Pyromancer. Combat. Attacks with just Soulscar Mage. Allows blocking, not using 2 Lava Darts to prowess twice and kill this. And we get another turn. Anger the Gods. We'll Anger the Gods instead of doing Seasoned Pyromancer tokens. Obosh in hand. Cleared. If they're not careful, we'll find a Chalice. I'm assuming Obosh played here. Will they kill me? Lava Dart me. Has forgotten everything. They could have killed me with darts a while ago. We're now playing just to see how long it takes my opponent to find the kill. Firebolts me. Alright, that kills me. I guess they wanted to firebolt me instead of Lava Dart. Those Lava Darts would have done it way earlier. 3-2 either way, running Red Prison, running into a matchup where we kind of stumbled heavily on lands, and then the Prowess matchup where maybe we could have aggressively mulled for Chalice of the Void. List is doing sweet. This is probably the list I would recommend at this point. We've done well 2 times in a row. The meta is adjusting slightly. You're not seeing as many money piles or Uros at the moment. I'm not sure why. I'll have to look into what's going on there. Heliod's doing well, the Prowess deck's doing really well, and it's actually not bad to see those two doing well because we actually can interact with those in a reasonable fashion. You would, honestly, most people would go, wow, I'm tired of playing Prowess, it's just better burn. For us, we see Prowess and go, thank you, you're not burn. Because burn is 1 and 2 drops, plenty of ways to remove artifacts, and deals plenty of damage. It can be a race, and it's sometimes just based on whether you have Chalice or not. Prowess, probably, and we need to do some digging into some of the Prowess lists, but probably could just do a Chalice on 1 and be pretty satisfied and potentially lock your opponent out. With 4 Angers, definitely good for removing creatures, so we're not too bothered by that as well, as we saw in the Merfolk matchup. We're doing the bridges, we're doing the removals, we're doing the Blood Moons. It's Red Prism, and that's what we're doing in Modern.